Hello, everyone. This is Dusty, and this is the 321 report. Welcome if it's your first time. If it's not, you'll probably know what to expect, but this is a pretty important episode that we got going on. There's a lot going on. Let me get my drink. So, a lot's happened since the last time I was here. Yeah, crazy. All right, I have no notes. I'm going to write stuff down as I go. But the news today just totally blew out anything I was going to prepare. Kind of just went out the window. So for obvious reasons. So those of you, if you've been under a rock and you haven't heard the news, Barry MORPHEW was arrested today. He was arrested on charges of first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and forgot the name of the last one, but it's trying to influence a official or something like that. I'll look it up. But yeah, this is something we've been waiting nearly a year to happen. Those of us who believe that Barry was responsible for Suzanne going missing, which is a big percentage of who listens to the show or who watches the show. So, yeah, his mugshot came out. Let me get that up too. So let me tell you a story. And this is strange for me because I was just in Salida Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I went to Broomfield and I stayed the night at the same hotel Barry stayed in. Well, Barry apparently didn't stay there, but he went there to rent it for some of his workers. So anyway, it didn't smell anything like chlorine, by the way. So I'm sure they got all that smell out of there by now. But so here's his mugshot. As you can notice, if you've been looking at a lot of pictures of Barry in the past, you notice he looks a lot skinnier. And I saw him several times during the past few days, when I was there. And I'll show you some video, some of what I gathered, but he's lost a lot of weight. But not just that, he's toned up a lot. And you'll see that in some of these videos, but yeah. So he's probably going to need to be toned up where he's going or where he's at. So there'll be a lot of people trying to get after that guy. So just saying. Anyway, I'm kind of like still in shock that this happened, to be honest with you, because I was out here getting ready to prepare my show in my office, and Tiffany came and told me that she heard that Barry was arrested. I thought she was joking with me, because you know how you want something to happen, and you're like, why aren't people doing anything? Why aren't law enforcement doing anything? And you just get sick and tired of it. But when it actually happens, it's kind of like you're in shock. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of in shock, to be honest with you. But there was a new press conference earlier, and there was some really good information in that. I will try to play that for you a little bit. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll play a little bit and I'll talk about it. But yeah, I also want to go through a lot of my experience. If you saw the video, if you were here when the show started, my video started with some footage I got when I went to the birthday celebration of Suzanne. And I mean, it wasn't much of a celebration because it was really sad. One of the things that was sad to me was how few people were there, which it really surprised me. I thought more people in the community would be there. I thought I didn't think Barry or any of his family would be there, but I did think more people in the community would be there, and it made me kind of sad that we only got a handful of people out there, probably between 20 and 30, I would guess. And a lot of you, I know you saw me on Lauren Sharp's video, and I got people calling me, blowing up my phone today. I wonder why. But anyway, a lot of people saw me on Lauren Sharp's video. I was at this, and I got to meet Lauren finally, and I talked to her for a little while, and I got to meet a couple other people. Some of you who watched the show, I met you. Y'all were really nice, and I appreciate you coming up to me. It's really strange when you don't know somebody, but they know you. I don't have a lot of experience in that. Like, you go somewhere and people are like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Who are you?" And not in a rude way, but just like I'm surprised that they know me, you know. So it's weird, but they are all real nice. So this must be somebody that's not watching my show. They're blowing up my phone. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn my phone off. It looks like can't get it to quit buzzing. I had to go look to see if maybe I wasn't on, like the sound wasn't on or something. So anyway, so I got a lot to show you. I got a lot to talk about. You know, when I drove by Barry's condo a few times, saw him outside. A few other times, I went by some other places and I saw his vehicle there. Right after the vigil, I went to a convenience store, and I walk out, and Mallory and Macy are pulling into the gas station. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's really weird. So anyway, hey, very good question. And yes, I did. And I saw Barry's truck at her house. So that's what I'm going to start with, okay? I'm pretty upset. And I'll tell you why. I'm not upset because I'm really happy about some of this stuff. But there for a while, I kept saying, Shoshona, she's not his girlfriend. I was getting some bad information, okay? I trusted who was giving it to me, and I still do. the person that was giving it to me, I met with this person while I was in Salida. And I went to this person and I said, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, he was shaking his head. He was like, "I don't know what to say, man." And I said, "Well, so that looks like maybe it is true." And I was talking about that Shoshona and Barry were an item because I'd just been by our house and Barry's truck was parked there. So I was like, okay. And he was like, he wasn't very happy, telling me that he got lied to and he trusted somebody and he probably shouldn't have. So we had a great talk, you know, it was really good. And I thought that was really cool that he would meet me and want to talk to me. So we hashed out a lot of things as far as like things that he told me that's been going on. He's not. I mean, he knows Shoshona, and I mean, I believe that, and I reported that they weren't an item because I believe this person, but it's not his fault. He got hoodwinked too. So let's just say that she's probably really nervous right now. But yeah. Anyway, so let me show you a couple things. Let me get this going. Somebody posted her name and I just automatically was like, okay, I got to address this right now because, yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of her for a long time. I was wanting her to tell her side of the story. Apparently, she was parked over near the celebration we had. You'll see. Let me show you. Let me see if I can pull this up while I'm talking. Yeah. I'm going to turn the sound off. But see, stop. So apparently, I'm going to go back just a little bit more. So see that car parked right there? Apparently, that's Shoshona's car. I don't know if she's. I did see her like with the passenger side window down, looking out the window. I didn't know it was her until I started talking to people and they asked me if I saw her. And I'm like, no, where is she? They said, well, she's parked over there. And I was like, what? Parked over there? So it looked like she was being a spy. I don't know. You know, it looked really ridiculous that you're going to go over there in plain sight where everyone can see you, but you stay in your car. So it doesn't make any sense. But I'm real frustrated about that because I like to report on stuff that's true. I like to report on stuff that I know when I have a source. But like I said, this source, he was just giving me the information he thought was true. So I'm not blaming him, but I'm just correcting something that I said before that I didn't think so. So anyway, let's just move on from her. I don't really care about that. I did see. Let me see if I can pull this up. Now, I asked somebody texted me something, and then I asked them if they would send me something. So hopefully that happened. We'll see. But not yet. So what it was I said I was going to quit talking about Shoshona, but there was a picture of the front, well, as a video in the front of her house, and there was a bunch of sheriffs in front of her house. So it's not looking real good right now for her. So just saying, should have talked to me. Not that would have done her any good, but you know, maybe she'll use her one phone call to call me. All right. So let me give you a play-by-play of what went down. I flew into Denver on Friday. I got up at like 3:30 in the morning, hopped the plane from Nashville to Denver. I got to Denver at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I rented a car, and drove to Salida. And when I got there, I started filming stuff, and I went all over the place. filming different things, different sites, different places where we've all heard of, but none of us probably, except a choice few of us, have actually seen in person. So I wanted to take you all there to some of these places and show you what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm going to try to do a little bit of that. Yeah. So I went to a lot of different places, but anyway, so I'm going to pull up this press conference first, because some of you probably haven't seen this. So I want to hit a few highlights to give some reference to some of the things I'm going to talk about. And I should have this pulled up, but I was doing some other things. But the funny thing is somebody wrote in there that Barry, in the comments, Barry was arrested by the Anytime Fitness. And I drove by that thing probably 50 times this weekend. It's right around the corner from his condo in Poncha Springs. And if he would have got arrested on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I probably would have been filming it, because I was driving all over that place. So anyways, I heard that he goes to that Planet Fitness, or not Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness, maybe Fitness. I don't know what I just said, but whatever I just said, he goes there with like George Davis is what I heard. So not anymore. He'll be doing a lot of push-ups where he's going, probably. I think they did away with weights in the prisons. So I don't know about county jails, but so I'm trying to pull up this press conference. Sorry, guys, but it's taking me a minute. I'm going to answer a lot of questions tonight, just so I can, because I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about this, and a lot of you are probably really relieved that this happened today. I think it would have been really cool if they could have done this on Suzanne's birthday or on Mother's Day, but I'm not complaining. They can do it whenever they want. So as long as it gets done. There were some really interesting things that Sheriff Speasy said. I know a lot of us have been on his case that he didn't do a whole lot of press conferences and stuff like that, but apparently he's doing his job. So that's good. So I'm almost ready, guys. I promise. All right. Hopefully they'll let me share another one. I got like 10 of them down here I'm ready to show, but they're going to have to wait a couple of them. All right. So here's Sheriff Speasy, and then also Linda, I think her name's Linda Staley, the new district attorney. She'll be talking also.
I'm Chaffee County Sheriff John Speasy. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to read you a prepared statement, and then we'll introduce our district attorney and take questions after. Good afternoon. I wanted to thank you for traveling to Chaffee County on such short notice for today's briefing. Before we begin, I just wanted to speak briefly about Suzanne. I have to admit I did not know Suzanne personally before the beginning of the investigation, but now I feel I've gotten to know Suzanne quite well. I have learned that Suzanne loved her two daughters, Mallory and Macy, deeply, and there was nothing she wouldn't do for them. I've also learned that Suzanne had a passion for life and lived it to its fullest. I've also learned that Suzanne was very easy to like and was cherished by her closest friends. I believe people like Suzanne are a rare find, and those who knew her were indeed very lucky. Today marks a major milestone in this investigation of Suzanne Morphew's disappearance. We're announcing that at 09:15 hours this morning, the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office arrested Suzanne Morphew's husband, Barry Morphew. He was taken into custody near his home in Poncha Springs. He was alone at the time of his arrest, and he was arrested without incident. Today marks the culmination of thousands of hours in this comprehensive investigative effort to locate the mother of two who went missing May 10th of 2020. More than 70 investigators from the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and dozens of other local law enforcement agencies have provided their expertise on this case. We've executed more than 135 search warrants.
Okay, that blew my mind. He said they've executed over 135 search warrants. That's amazing. In this case, I mean, I don't know what the norm is for a case, but I only know of two places, and that was at the same place, at the MORPHEW house. That's the only two I've heard of, unless I'm just forgetting something. But 135 search warrants in this case. That's unbelievable.
Across Colorado, we've interviewed more than 400 individuals in multiple states.
Holy moly! I missed that because I was freaking out about the search warrants. I missed that they interviewed 400 people. So I'm gonna try to find where he was because I hit the
Sheriff's Office arrested Suzanne Morphew's husband in an effort to locate the mother of two who went missing May 10th of 2020.
That's close enough.
More than 70 investigators from the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and dozens of other local law enforcement agencies have provided their expertise on this case. We've executed more than 135 search warrants across Colorado. We've interviewed more than 400 individuals in multiple states. Our team has also investigated more than 1,400 tips generated from within and outside of law enforcement. In early April, the extensive work completed by our investigative team was presented to the 11th Judicial District Attorney's Office. In that multiple-hour presentation, we outlined all of the information and evidence we have taken in over the past 12 months. Following that meeting, the District Attorney's Office reviewed our case and information and solidified their decision to move forward on this case. Today is not the day for celebration, nor does it mark the end of this investigation. Rather, it's the next step in this very difficult yet very important journey as we seek justice for Suzanne and her family. I know how deeply this case has impacted our community over the past 12 months. Through multiple conversations I've had with our citizens across the county, one message was clear from everyone, and that's that they wanted answers and they wanted justice for Suzanne. Although I'm not able to offer specific details, I want to assure the community that every action our investigators took in the past year led to today's arrest. This arrest would not be possible without the assistance of our supporting law enforcement agencies, which include the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and of course the 11th Judicial District Attorney, Linda Stanley, and members of her office. Before District Attorney Linda Stanley speaks, I want to extend my deep appreciation to our community for their support they've shown us for over the past year. While this has been a trying time for our citizens, I've seen our community rally around one another and our investigative team. I'd now like to introduce District Attorney Linda Stanley.
My name is Linda Stanley. I'm the District Attorney for the 11th Judicial District, which includes Fremont County, Custer, and Chaffee counties total. I wanted to say that thanks for being here for everybody, and there's a couple of things I'd like to address about this case. First, the investigation is still ongoing. Suzanne, her body has not been found, and we're still looking into that. The investigation is ongoing. Second, Barry Morphew is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's important to remember. Third, the arrest affidavit is sealed at this time. I cannot and will not discuss it. Fourth, all media inquiries from this date forward should go through my office. However, I'm sure you all are aware and know that we cannot talk about any open or active investigation, and that is per the rules of professional conduct that we will abide by. Lastly, I wanted to say that Today is a good day. It's a good day for all of the men and women in law enforcement that have tirelessly worked toward getting here.
So this is something I noticed. Speezy was like, this is not a day to celebrate or whatever he said, something like that. And she's like, this is a good day. So they're on a different page there. So anyway, I just noticed that. As far as I know, as far as I interpreted, that's what I interpreted.
They worked day in and day out, sacrificing more than any of you will ever know. They even continued working and continued their sacrifices as they were being raked over the coals and second guessed as to their skills and abilities. I'm standing here in front of you on this good day because they never quit. Sheriff Speezy and his deputies at the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, Alex Walker, investigator for the 11th Judicial District, those two individuals in Sheriff Speezy's office in particular are consummate professionals and, quite frankly, some of the best I've ever worked with in my entire professional career. They followed every lead, every tip, and every unanswered question, no matter what direction it led them in. They never compromised the integrity of the investigation. On several occasions over the last few months after I was sworn in on January 12th of this year, I met with these professionals and went through hours and hours of their meticulous investigation. Their investigation was presented to our office just a few weeks ago. For me, today is a good day, but for my office, this is where the work begins. There's more work to be done. However, this is an important and incredibly crucial step. And today is a good day for Suzanne. As far as I'm concerned, today is all about Suzanne. And it's about her family. And it's about all the individuals that knew her and loved her and cared about her. That's what this day is about. And it's a good day. Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and take.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there for a minute. There's some questions that are kind of interesting, but I wanted to comment on a few things here. So she doesn't seem like she's going to, she's pretty serious. She's pretty, sounds like she's going to work. And that's what they need in this case. Not that they're not, I mean, from what she said, they've been working, and from what I've seen, you know, I'm not there all the time. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I am glad that they came to this point, that Barry's where he needs to be right now. I know she's got to say the politically correct thing and the lawful thing about him being innocent until proven guilty, because that's what the country's all about. That's our justice system. I get that, but gosh, if you want to write a book about how to look guilty in a case, you could just look at what Barry did in this case, and that's, I mean, he made all the wrong moves. I mean, totally. He should have pleaded the fifth and not said a word to anybody. But the more he opened his mouth, the more his foot got stuck in there. And then his legal moves were horrible. It made him look like this cold, heartless husband that it's just unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, she's no joke. That's what somebody said in there. Where's that at? I want to post that up here. Yep, Lisa, you were right. She is no joke. Okay. A couple of things. Let me play the rest of this, because there's some questions about Suzanne in here that I want to cover. Tiffany was playing this for me when we were driving down the road, so I didn't hear the whole thing. So some of it I'm going to be hearing with you guys for the first time.
Some questions now.
They're going to ask questions.
Can you tell us? Right down the way.
See if you can pick out Lauren in there.
Please, the district attorney, if you don't mind. You're not releasing the affidavit. You don't have a body. How can you prove to the members of the public that you have a strong case?
Okay, if you couldn't hear that, the guy said, you're not releasing the affidavit. You don't have a body. How are you going to prove this case? So,
Didn't hear the question. He said,
Oh,
we're not releasing the
sorry.
affidavit and we
I didn't know
don't
she's
have a
gonna say that.
body, so how can I convince the public that we have a strong case? That's my job. I'm the one that considers how strong my case is before I bring charges, and I wouldn't bring charges unless I was confident.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about.
Suzanne has been missing for nearly a year now. What made you take this step today as opposed to any time in the past year?
Who's that directed to?
Either one.
Would you repeat the question, please? Kinda.
Yeah. If I can have you stand in front of the microphone just to make sure
Yeah.
we pick it up. Suzanne has been missing for nearly
You notice
a year.
Speezy doesn't have his
What
pink
made you
glasses
decide
anymore?
today as opposed to any time in the past year.
It's been a culmination of our investigation over the past year.
He was asked the question if you couldn't hear it because I was talking. Sorry about that. But anyway, he asked why today? Pretty much why'd you bring charges? Why'd you bring charges today? So-
Honestly, it kind of oversimplifies. Today is just any other day. It's been our investigation over the past year that got us where we are today, and based on other information we gathered, we acted on it. I mean, today became the day, but it's been a culmination of everything we've gained over the past year. And I know for everybody here, you say, well, that's hard to understand that because we haven't said so much about the investigation. That's what's so important about this
It's an
investigation that got us here
understatement
today, is the amount of everything that's gone into this and what's brought us here, and the ability to remain silent and do the very best we can to put the best case forward. All of that led us to where we are today.
This can also be for the sheriff. You made this arrest today, and you've been searching for Suzanne MORPHEW for a year. Is there any indication today that she is not alive anymore as your search continues?
And repeat the question if you could.
The question is if we'd been searching for her and we hadn't found her, and if there's any indication that she wasn't alive today. Is that correct? Well, we believe that she's not alive. We've filed first-degree murder charges, or we're in the process of filing first-degree murder charges. So our belief is Suzanne is not alive at this time.
So they don't have a body, but they're pretty convinced that she's not alive, which, I mean, common sense tells you that, but I wonder what made them so sure. And I really wish we would have the affidavit and the discovery, all that. We can't wait to see all that stuff.
Sheriff Speezy, talk about how when you pressed charges today, when in your investigation did you know that she was no longer alive, and when did you change to, it was no longer a missing persons case that you were dealing with, it was now a homicide?
You know, that's actually a really good
Sounded
question.
like Lauren.
I'm sorry. It's a good question in that it's not, the light bulb moment doesn't happen overnight. It's when you begin an investigation, you start collecting information, you gain more information, and as you go along, you continually assess what you're doing, and as time goes by, you start eliminating certain things and start bringing in other things, and as you progress, you go from one point to another, and you make realizations, and so your investigation is always, it never ends till it's over, if that makes sense, and you're constantly learning things, and so you go from what you believe here to what we present now, and so it's a process, and it's been a long process, been a very tedious process.
Was there a date or a time?
Black trench coat.
Yeah, Jen Munro, Valley Boys. I know that District Attorney Stanley said the warrant is overall sealed. But could we let the public know what he's been charged with? You said first-degree murder, anything else?
Except for
Jan, you're Jan, right?
Yeah.
That was in the early press release we put out. Did it not have the charge?
I don't think it came out in the original.
Okay.
Jens, could you read all the charges?
I don't have them with me. Do you have them?
They don't know the charges? Come on, Speezy.
Yeah.
the question was asking what the charges were. It was first-degree homicide. It was tampering with evidence and attempting to influence a public servant.
Attempting to influence a public servant. Trying to bribe somebody.
Here at the facility now.
The question is if Mr. MORPHEW is in our detention facility Barry Morphew is in the Chaffey County Detention Facility.
And then what are the next steps? When will he make a first appearance, etc.? Or do we not know yet?
The question was, what is the next step and when is his first appearance? Tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning will be his advisement, where any arguments on his bond will be heard.
He ain't getting no bond. Come on.
David, for the sheriff, can you give an update on the search for Suzanne Morphew? We've been covering that a bit. Has that changed at all? Is there any new locations that you're looking, any new evidence that you're going off?
You know, honestly, it changes every day. If we receive information, as I stated before, we've investigated 1,400 tips. We're always reacting to new information. There's always things we're looking at. We never rule out anything, so it's ongoing.
Is there anything new that you can share with us in terms of where you're looking?
There's nothing I can share at this time because it's still an open and ongoing investigation, so we're not able to share any of that information.
This dude never says anything worth reporting on, man. No offense to law
Do
enforcement,
we
but this
expect to
guy.
make any more arrests in this case? No, we don't expect that at this time, no.
Is there an alleged cause of death?
Didn't you hear the question? Is there alleged cause of death?
The question is there an
just
alleged
standing
cause of death? So at this time, without the body, we wouldn't be able to say that publicly. We do have information that led us to this point today and how we think a certain scenario had occurred. But as we investigate further, that may change. So at this time, I can't comment.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions.
Okay, that's big. I missed that the first time. So they have a scenario where they think they know what happened. So let's think about that. How would they know that? Well, they've been in the house twice. So I would think that something may have been found to lead them on to a certain theory. I also think they interviewed 400 people. One of them had to have said something. I mean, you would think. I don't know. But that's interesting. Let's see if they say anything else. This is almost over.
Hi, this is for either the sheriff or the district's attorney. Has Barry Morphew have you been able to interview him since he was arrested, and has he been cooperating with the investigation? Have you asked him where the body is?
The question was if the suspect, Mr. Morphew, had answered any of our questions or told us where Suzanne Morphew's body is. And after Mr. Morphew was arrested this morning, he was taken into custody, and when asked questions, he said he wanted a lawyer, so all
Yeah.
questioning ended.
Yep. It's the smartest thing he's done in this whole thing is
Yes, he
not
has
say a
retained
word.
counsel.
It's the smartest thing he's done.
We're going to go ahead and
Heard from him in a year. We have a couple more questions.
Hey.
He's done one press conference
And
the
I-
whole time.
And I get that.
It's been a year.
Oh, I know that's Lauren.
That's coming out, and there's going to be more. So
Did you hear that? That was awesome. If that was Lauren, then whoever it was, she said, "Can't we just have a couple more questions? You've had one press conference in a year." I'm rewinding that. Hold on a second. She ain't having it.
has Mr. Morphew retained counsel at this point?
Yes, he has retained counsel.
Wonder who his
We're going to
lawyer
go
is.
ahead and
Here we go.
Heard from him in a year. We have a couple more questions. He's done one press conference
And
the
I-
whole time.
and I get that.
It's been a year.
Yes.
and we've got a news release
Boom.
that's coming out, and there's going to be more. So thank you so much. News release will be coming out in just a few minutes. So we appreciate your patience and your time for traveling
That's
here today.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Sweet. That was good. That was worth the wait going to the end of that. Awesome. Okay. It's starting to get darker, so I'm going to have to turn up my light here. It was light outside when I started this. There we go. That's enough. I don't want you to see my face that clear. All right. So I was reading some of the comments while I was listening to that. And yeah, you guys are pretty awesome. There was a few that I wanted to. So I didn't watch. I didn't watch Chris McDonough's video. That's where Tiffany said that she saw that Barry was arrested because somebody had posted it in Facebook or something. But somebody told me, I don't know who it was, that that he thinks Trevor will be arrested pretty soon. So I'm not sure if that's the truth, but that dude should be shaking in his boots right now, along with a few other people. So anyway, yeah. I think you're talking about Chris. Yeah, he was the first on YouTube, but I'm going to tell you this, and I have a screenshot of it. The first two that I found, the first to report anything about Barry being arrested today was the Mountain Mail up in Salida. And he as of 2 hours ago, it said 15 hours ago he reported that. So yeah, he was the one on top of that. So I can't remember his name, but he was at that thing for Suzanne too, that birthday celebration. So yeah. Oh man. So I'm going to show you guys some video that I got of Barry. And you know, I was being me. I was making some funny, well, what I think's funny comments. But let me set this up for you. So this is on Sunday, and that I recorded this, and this is at Barry's condo. And what I was doing was I had been by Shoshona's house the day before, and Barry's truck was out there, and I took pictures of that at her house so I could show the guy that was telling me that she wasn't dating him or whatever. So anyway, so the next day I drove by his house, and that same truck is parked at his condo. So I was driving by getting video of it or pictures or whatever, and I happened to see Barry. And what's he doing? He is laying outside on the back porch getting a suntan. I can't make this stuff up. It's unbelievable. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I waited there a long time because I could tell it was him. I mean, who else is going to be laying on his own back porch, getting a suntan? So I was wanting to wait till he stood up. It took forever, let me tell you, and you'll see. Yeah, it took him forever. I was even thinking about honking my horn. I was across the street from his place. So anyway, here we go. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is back of Barry's condo, and he's laying out getting a tan, looks like. Not a care in the world, just getting a golden tan. He just put his legs down. I guess he needs some on his legs. I guess the tanning beds are closed on Sunday. Unbelievable. I'm probably going to laugh the most at my stuff. Okay, here's part 2. My civic duty, I think Barry might have passed away. He hasn't moved. I was there a long time. In a while. I was thinking about honking my horn to see if he'd wake up so I could get him on camera and get out of here. But he hasn't moved. He looks dead. Look at him. Is he dead? Barry. I'm like yelling, trying to wake him up. All right, part 3. There's 5 of them. Is it my civic duty? Oh, that's the same Barry one. Might There's have 4 passed of them. Away. He's not dead. We have movement. His right leg is up. So not dead. Not dead. I'm sure all of you were very concerned about him. But his leg did come up. So don't worry. Don't worry. All right, here's where he gets up. Now notice this, okay? And I comment on this, And it might not make any sense because I was just talking because I was really surprised, but I just saw this pop up. They're inside the condo because they came out later, so that's where they're at. But anyway, so he gets up, and I was really super surprised. If you guys remember, he used to have like a big stomach, really, like puffy. He was kind of chubby a little bit. He was always pretty big, but man, he's lost a lot of weight. He's toned up. And I started talking about he must be on steroids or something, but I don't know if that makes any sense because I don't know if steroids make you trim up like that or not because I'm not that. But watch, you'll see. And notice how red his stomach is, too. This is crazy. There he is. There he is. Golly, he's red. Pretty buff, too. Look at him. Dang. Working out. He got toned up. He's walking like a zombie, though. He's on roids or something. Yep, he's on steroids or something. He's lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I was super surprised what he looked like. That really shocked me. Because from what all the videos I've seen of him, like Tyson's video, he doesn't look like that. And a few other videos. And yeah. So I don't know if, what's going on with him. I did notice that let me pull it up. His mugshot looked a lot different too. I mean, look how old he looks. He looks a lot older to me. And the big old bags under his eyes and this gray beard. I mean, I'm sure, waiting for the cops to come pick you up probably age you a little bit. But yeah, that's crazy. So that's him. Made him wear a mask. All right. So let's look at some comments. I got a few other things I want to share, but first I want to look at the comments, see what you guys are talking about. So I am convinced that Barry has had hair plugs or something. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look right. And there's been video of him back. There was a time when Suzanne's friend came to visit her and they had a video. It came out not too long ago. And Barry was in the video and they showed a side view of him. And he looked like he had like a facelift or something. I don't know. It was really strange. So I don't know. I'm going to back up on these comments. Somebody had sent like a super sticker or something. I appreciate those. I don't want to go. I should have just grabbed it when I saw it, but there it is. Catherine. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that very much. This one says that the buffers a lot. I'm sorry about that. Looks like I've got like all the bars on mine, so I don't know. So let me tell you something about. I mentioned this earlier, and I'll be scrolling through the comments to pick some out. If you guys want to ask me a question or whatever, or just make a comment, I'll pull it up if I catch it. So anyway, like I was saying that the two. First, let me back up because I want to touch on this because this is really interesting to me, and I want to pull it up because this was actually pretty crazy when I read it. So I'm going to read. This is Let's see if I can find the whole thing. Sorry. All right. So what this is, and let me see if I can screenshot it and then post it, because this is, to me, this is a big deal. So let me see if I can pull it up. I know you're probably like, what is he talking about? So you know how Macy MORPHEW, the youngest daughter of Barry and Suzanne, how she has a boyfriend that she's been dating for a long time. Let's just say that. So sorry, I just got sidetracked. So her dad came out, or his dad, sorry, Miles Harvey's dad, Mike Harvey. He, on April 30th, when I was over in Salida, is when I read this for the first time. And he put out a statement on his Facebook, apparently, that it was, man, it got to me. It made me really like start, second guessing myself about certain things I've done since I've been covering this case. But it also really hit me that the way that he describes his son's relationship with Suzanne before she went missing. So I'm gonna show you that, and I'm just trying to get it ready. Save. All right, so let me get it up, and I'm sure a lot of you have read it. It's been all over the internet, but I just want to share it because it's pretty neat. And I'm, one thing I realized when I was over in Salida, and I called Tiffany, or I text messaged Tiffany, and I told her, it's different when you're actually here. And when you see these people in real life, it's different. They're real people. And when I read this that Mike Harvey wrote, it really shook me up, because it made me think, okay, have I been floating theories out that have, hurt people and added to their pain? And I'm going to be 100% honest with you about how I feel about what happened to Suzanne. Some of the times when I was saying certain things, I was trying to get Barry to react. And I know that's probably going to sound weird to some of you, but I was trying to get him to, if somebody accused me or my kids of something like that, I would be furious, and I would comment on it, or I would contact the person that said it, or whatever. I'm not saying that at times I didn't feel like maybe they had something to do with it, but now I'm thinking, man, after reading it, let me share this with you, and then I'll talk about it. But it kind of shook me up a little bit, made me feel bad. So Mike Harvey wrote this, and if you just join me, Mike Harvey is the father of Miles Harvey, who is the boyfriend of Macy MORPHEW. Today is Suzanne MORPHEW's 50th birthday. The truth is, I didn't know Suzanne very well. Our son and her daughter are in love and have been together since the fall of 2018. Their family was new to town, and we didn't cross paths socially. My wife and I went out to dinner with her once when the kids went to a dance together. There were driveway pleasantries while dropping off or picking up her daughter, warm texts complimenting my son's manners, and some brief conversations over planning for a vacation that we took her daughter on. I know for sure that my son loves her. A lifelong picky eater, he started eating things that he'd always refused at home, telling my wife and I, Suzanne made the best dinner tonight, before telling us how he loves something that my wife and I had been trying to get him to eat his entire life. So it sounds like my kid when he went to his grandma's house. So it says, my wife and I started answering questions of what's for dinner with Suzanne. My wife and I started answering questions of what's for dinner with Suzanne gave us the recipe. And it was clear Suzanne loved my son. She welcomed him into her home and he loved being there. And one of the most painful moments among many over the past year, my son, typically pretty stoic, exploded into tears and asked us, will I ever see her again? While I didn't know Suzanne very well, I had some strong impressions of her character. She was very calm. Her energy was easy and warm. She never seemed to me to be in a rush or frantic, the way so many of us with kids and work can become. She looked you in the eyes and asked questions about you and your family. She listened. I liked her. I do know her daughters. I see her reflection in their warmth, their ease with being told I love you, and their comfort with responding in kind. Suzanne shines bright from these two young women. Along with that reflection of their mom is the unimaginable pain they suffer at her disappearance. I now see that day almost a year ago as a lightning strike that continues to reverberate out and through our community, my family, and primarily her daughters. More than anything, I wish for them to be able to begin to heal from that lightning strike, to make sense of the past and move into the future with their mom's love continuing to radiate from them. So today, on Suzanne's birthday, will you join me in holding her and her daughters in your heart? The love and support we can show on a day like today is not enough, but it is what we have to give. Thank you. That wasn't easy to read. And it was really beautifully written. And I struggled with that a lot this weekend. I don't set out to hurt people. I don't set out to, but I got caught up in this case. I got caught up in theories I had. And a lot of the time I didn't really think about it, what I was saying and the direction I was going. And I don't feel good about that right now. I really don't. And yeah, it was a tough weekend. And I think it started when I read that. But then when I saw them at the gas station, not too long after Suzanne's birthday celebration of life, that hit me even harder. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So, hopefully they didn't have any knowledge of anything Barry did. And hopefully they'll be able to heal from this and be able to, it's going to be tough. Their mom's gone, their dad's going to be gone, and it's just sad. And I feel terrible about the situation they're in. Hopefully they'll have a lot of support and they'll be able to, I don't know, it's going to take a long time. If they are totally innocent of anything, I'm going to have to deal with that for some of the things I said and some of the comments I made. But yeah, hope. Anyway, yeah, and I got focused on Suzanne, wanting to find answers, and anyway, I've learned from it, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm looking through the comments. I'll tell you what, that Mike Harvey guy seems like a really good guy. So that's if his son's anything like him, he's probably a pretty good kid. So all right. I doubt if those MORPHEW girls are watching this or whatever, but just like to publicly apologize for whatever I may have said to hurt them. I mean, I know I've said a lot of stuff and probably wasn't fair, but just in case they hear that, I'm all about making amends. And when I went through my addiction recovery, then I was teaching leading some of the recovery classes. We would go through the 12 steps, and amends is a huge part of that. Admitting that you have a problem, or admitting you did something and then making amends for it. It's a huge part of it. So, anyway. All right. So, if you guys want, Sonny, I see that, Sonny. Let me get it. So if you guys want to ask me a question, I mean, you always have these. Thank you, Sonny. I appreciate it. You always have these that you can get my attention with. I'm not saying you have to use that, because I'm going through all the comments. I'm trying to pick out some that, if you guys want to make a comment, or if you want to ask a question, or like anything that happened this weekend. There's a lot that happened, and I'm trying to get I had a plan in my head, and I had some of it written down about what I was going to do for tonight's show. Even when I was walking Cinnamon this morning, I was thinking about it, and then had it all planned out in my head. Came in here to start, and then Tiffany was dropped that bomb on me, and I was like, holy moly, now I got to totally revamp this. And I'm still like, I started reeling, and I'm still trying to catch my balance on all this. So, all right. I appreciate you guys are saying a lot of nice stuff. So I had a hard time getting through that thing, to be honest with you. I mean, it hit me hard last week, and it hit me when I was reading it. So I appreciate you guys. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, like what to, oh yeah. Okay. Here's some. Thank you so much, Mary Lou. It says, Dusty, you were our voice. You said what we were thinking. I agree with you. Okay. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Brent, for the donation. I appreciate that. So thank you. I did not come across the young guy at the bike shop. I didn't go to the bike shop. I passed it a few times, but I didn't go in it. I figured, he said, I mean, I got what he was saying through. There's even more. When I was editing the video that Tyson got with this guy that the Lake Superior girl here is talking about, he says a lot of stuff, and a lot of what he says he doesn't know. That's just stuff he heard. So anyway, yeah, but he did give a lot of information. So So it says, I'm curious if the girls will be called by the prosecution in the trial. I don't know. That would be weird, I guess. I don't know how that works. Sometimes that happens, though. Sometimes, people finally come to the realization in these trials that one parent did something to the other, and they finally realize that, and then they want to do what's right. So they tell what they know or what, they found out. So I don't know how that works. Excuse me. Okay, here's a question. So, I'm not going to name names of people that I spoke with, as far as people I spoke with that asked me not to talk about it. So, because there's reasons for that. Some people feel like they're in danger, and I get it, because when you're there, it's weird because it's a small town, and you run into people. Just like I ran into Mallory and Macy there at that convenience store. You see people, and it's not like it's this huge city or anything. So some of these people are kind of scared, but I didn't talk to any officials or anything like that. By the time I got there and everything, it was, I was getting ready for Suzanne's thing in the afternoon, getting all my equipment and all that ready. And then Saturday, the sheriff and all them aren't at their jobs. So, but I was really busy Saturday and Sunday, driving all over the place, getting footage, doing different things. Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't talk to anybody like super that you guys would probably even know, but it's people that know stuff. So, yeah. And I'm not going to talk about some of that tonight. There's reasons for that. So, what's funny about this? I saw 3 bobcats parked on the side of the road, and I told you guys I was going to do selfies with them, when I see them. So I pulled over to do a selfie in front of these bobcats, and it was right in front of that hair and tanning salon. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. So here's a question. I have no idea, but I think if he knows anything, that dude is talking, to save his own skin. He's going to talk. He would not do good locked up. I'll tell you that, from what I have gathered about him. So. Well, all that dough Barry has will go to good use now. Well, I mean, it's probably going to go to a lawyer. And like I said, when they said that Barry lawyered up and didn't talk, that was the smartest thing he's done since this all started. Because there's only one thing that those cops want you to do, and that's talk. And so they can incriminate you. It's too bad he knows that. Yep. Amen. Heck no. I ain't going to go get no selfie with no real bobcats. Forget that. Yeah, I should do this. This is funny. All right. So you guys reminded me of something. So I'm going to get something ready real quick. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna multitask here. I'm gonna answer questions while I'm getting something ready that I had that I totally forgot about. Let me see. All right. So what does this say? Oh, yeah, I think I already saw that one. So it says, was the rumor that George Davis had lawyered early on true? I haven't ever heard that. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so yeah, I agree with this. A lot of that, she put her inheritance from her mom's death into that house, like 600 grand or something like that. And so I agree with this. So I'm going to see if I can pull this up. So I went out to by Puma Path on 225 and 50 out where Barry and Suzanne used to live. And I flew the drone over there again, and it was pretty interesting. So I wanted to see if I can share that with you. So hold on a second. It doesn't have any sound. So one of the things I noticed is like one of the reasons I wanted to fly. I know I've flown over their house before, their old house before, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do it while I was out there was because this is what it looked like out there when she went missing. So before I was out there in October, there's a big difference between October and, May. All right. So I didn't edit this or anything. So you're just getting what I shot. And it's kind of dark, it looks like, but I think I brighten it up a little bit as we go along. It's going to look a little choppy and stuff because, like I said, I didn't edit it, but it's going to give you a view of some of the things that you might not have seen. And it was getting ready to storm pretty good over there. It started snowing on my way back to Denver from there. Oh, good. I lightened it up. Yeah, and there's still snow on the ground. It's pretty crazy. It's really sad that this all happened out there because this is a beautiful place. That to the left over there was the Ritter's place. There's their house. Somebody had asked me about an area, like see that propane tank? They were asking about a certain area over there. I tried to fly close to that and get low, but I'm going to tell you, from where I was flying to the end of this property right here, that is the limit on my drone. It wouldn't let me go any further because then I would have lost it. But they wanted to see over there by that area right there. That river is crazy because it looks black. I wish I had some music with it. That's what I usually do, but I didn't edit it yet. So I'm gonna skip ahead. There we go. That's what I wanted to see, that river. Gosh. So I'll ask a question and maybe you guys can comment on it. So, what do you think it's going to take to find Suzanne? You think somebody's going to have to talk? You think Barry's going to do it to avoid? I don't think that. Does Colorado have the death penalty? I think they do, because I think that's how Chris Watts got off the death penalties. He told them where the bodies were. He made a deal. I thought this was interesting. Look at this. So you see all these fallen trees, I think is what this is. And then look off over up to the top right. It's really weird. Isn't that crazy? That's like the ground made all these little veins and stuff. It's really neat. I think I've like noticed them, and then I was like, I'm gonna go check those out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Those were huge. All right. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. All right. So I just wanted to show that because I thought it was interesting that, I wanted to what I really want to do is compare it to what I got in September or October whenever I was out there and compare it to that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Lake Superior Girl 17. All right. I saw some questions while I was doing that. And one of them was, that doesn't explain, like, even though what I was saying about the girl, it doesn't explain their behavior. And that's true, but only thing I'm saying is the way I got a pretty good sense of myself, and when I start feeling a certain way, there's a reason for that. So, yeah, that's what I was. They, I'm not going to say one way or the other, right now, because the way I feel right now is that's. I just felt bad when I read that, and I wanted to kind of have peace instead of, in my heart, instead of having to feel bad about that. So. And I didn't plan on saying anything about it until I started talking about Mike Harvey's post again. So, all right. So I see a lot of you talking about Trevor on here. So, and did you guys answer, anybody of you answer that question I asked? So yeah, he's a narcissist, so he won't talk. He lawyered up. He already lawyered up. It'll take good police work to find her body. Colorado abolished death penalty in 2020. I didn't know that. It's crazy. No, it didn't look like that. What I think's going on with that house is I think some company bought it to rent out for like vacations and stuff, like Airbnb or something. Did you know that river runs into the Arkansas? I thought that was the Arkansas River going through there. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what river that was. But I did go over to that beach property, and I'm going to play that for you. And again, this is not edited, but, and I'm going to have to find the right one real quick. Not that one. I stopped in to talk to some deer. That's how goofy I am sometimes. So can I get closer to the tree in front of the house? Yeah, I can do that in my editing software, but like I said, I haven't edited it yet, so I'll have to do that. I'm looking through this video. So I'm going to post it in just a second. Just making sure it's the right one. Yeah, sorry. I went quiet there because I was listening. This might be true, and that's really sad. Thank you, Leah. Gotcha, Martin. South Arkansas River, right? All right, I'm going to load this one up. I just had to make sure I didn't say anything about anyone that I have talked to in the video. All right, I'm going to load that one up. Sorry. I know there was a pause there, but I was just reviewing that video to make sure it was okay. I don't want to reveal anything that I said I wouldn't, so I have to double check before I post anything because I didn't have a whole lot of time to post this stuff or edit. So this is the beach property. I'm just filming from my car, my rental car, but you're probably not going to recognize it.
105, Salida, Colorado.
So see that beautiful house?
This is the site.
That's where they were
It was
digging.
dug up. There's a beautiful home on it now. And if you see what the site,
Did you hear that? Okay, I might just be weird, but I didn't know this about certain vehicles. Like when you stop at like a red light, this vehicle that I had, this rental car, was a Jeep Cherokee. It would turn off. And then when I let off the brake, it would start again. That was so weird. So I thought I got a lemon or something. I was about ready to take it back because it died at the stop sign. Then I was like, oh, maybe it just does that.
sign says, this is Davis, like George Davis, Hauser Construction. Beautiful home, right? Very beautiful. Another weird thing about this.
Look what's in the backyard.
Sitting over there in the yard.
A freaking bobcat.
The bobcat. I would bet $1 million that bobcat right there belongs to Barry MORPHEW. No doubt in my mind. These attachments for it right over there. There's the river. So just to clarify where this home sits right now, this is where they dug for 3 days. It's part of the search for Suzanne MORPHEW, when they cut that little square out of the concrete. This is also the place where the cadaver dogs hit when Andy Mormon was out here searching. He got permission from the owners to do that. So, yeah. I'm going to the places you guys asked me to go, and I'm hitting some really good clues. So, anyway, I see somebody over there looking at me. I wonder where Mary Branson lives. I'm gonna go talk to her.
I found out where she lived. She lived like the house back the other way that I wasn't pointing. That's where she lived. So I found that out. I didn't go talk to her though. Stuff just kept popping up, and I had to just pick and choose what I was going to do and who I was going to talk to. And yeah, so yeah, no kidding, huh? Because who knows? I mean, who knows if she's there or not? Barry could end this all right now, tell where Suzanne's body is, and relieve his daughters, but he probably won't until it is beneficial for him, if ever. Yeah, I agree with that. Seems like he would have already done that. Yeah, no bobcats where Barry's going, that's for sure. Yeah. Thank goodness. I'm so sick of seeing that thing. It says maybe Dusty guilted Trevor. Maybe. He sure hung up fast, didn't he? That's nice. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were there. Maybe I did. Maybe you were one of the ones that talked to me. I don't remember. Like I told whoever talked to me there, I said, please write me an email so I remember who I talked to, because I forget names really easily. So I asked them to please write to me. And you know what? I haven't even checked emails yet. I've been busy, really busy. And then I get back to Nashville, and okay, let me back up. When I left, I parked at this hotel because the parking's really cheap for long-term parking. Why is my face so orange? Oh, it's because those lights back there are orange. Anyway, so I park at this hotel in Nashville, and they usually give you a shuttle, and it's really cheap. It's like $20 for 4 days of parking, which is outrageously cheap. So I park there, get a shuttle, catch my plane, come back, pack all my stuff out to where you meet the shuttles, call the hotel, and they were like, oh, we sent our shuttle driver home already. And I'm like, what? I said, well, that sucks. And so I'm sweating buckets because it's snowing in Denver, and I'm getting to Nashville and it's like 70 degrees and like 120% humidity or something. And it is hot and I'm sweating. And so I walk back in. I don't use Uber. I've used Uber one time back when I was shooting in Nashville a lot, and I had to get from one place to another whenever I lost the keys to a car. But anyway, I've used it once. Now I've used it twice. So it cost me an extra like $25. But yeah, I don't know why I told that story. It's stupid. But it was, yeah, there was a cool guy. It said on his profile, he had done over 3,000 5-star trips or something. I don't know if that's a lot, but it seems like super lot to me. And he was cool. His name was Miguel. And he barely spoke English to me, but I knew what he was saying. He was complaining about they won't let him go pick, because I had to walk all the way from the second floor all the way back down there to meet him because they got a new place the Uber's got to meet. I picked up that he doesn't like that. He wasn't too happy about that. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know. People said they saw me on Lauren's video. I tried to sneak into town. That lasted about an hour, and I started getting recognized. So, which is weird for me. I'm not all about that. It's just so weird. So, and another thing that I just remembered, while I was there, some people paid me for photos. Don't think I forgot about you, and I'm gonna send you the photos. Just know that, because you sent it after I left, and I didn't have my photos with me to send you. So yeah, I agree with this. Let us celebrate Suzanne tonight. Yeah. So, yeah, it makes me sad. All this stuff makes me really sad. I talked to a lot of people who knew Suzanne, like while I was in Salida, who had run-ins with her, and every one of them said about the same thing, that you really felt like she cared about you when she talked to you. Like she was really interested in you. Like she wanted to listen to what you were saying. And a lot of these people that I spoke to, they don't have that in their life. You know, they've had a rough life, and when they know how important it is when people talk to them like that, and when they show interest. And that's what Suzanne did. And that's one thing that stood out to me, that she impressed on people when they met her, was that she had a heart of gold, and that she, like Speezy was saying, hold on, somebody's blowing me up. So like Speezy was saying, he didn't know her, but he's got to know her through this whole thing. And that's the way I feel. I feel like I got to know her. And yeah, she's a pretty special person from what I hear. It says, Mary Branson says the night before mom of two, Suzanne Morphew, was reported missing, she was woken by a loud noise. Yep. This is what I think about that, and I'll tell you why. So when I watched these interviews with Mary Branson and read this stuff, one of the parts of the interview says that she went and talked to people at the construction site after this happened. So that made me think that this happened on Friday, that she's thinking she didn't know, from what I gathered. But the reason I think it happened on Friday is because who's going to be at a construction site? And it might happen, I don't know, but I wouldn't think that they would be there on Mother's Day and on a Sunday, but that's just my I didn't see a whole lot of people working in Salida on Sunday. So I think that that might have happened on Friday, that she heard those noises and then asked the people about it on Saturday. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that. Mary Branson can't hear. So my wife was their real estate agent. That's interesting. All right, Tony, are you talking about for the Puma Path House, or what are you talking about? Yeah, I saw a little bit of this. I think one of the things she said. Oh, let me just read this. It says, "When you get a moment, Dusty, listen to Lauren Sharp's phone interview with Melinda Mormon, Suzanne's sister, today." So, I heard a little bit about that. What I heard was, she still loves Barry, but she did a terrible thing or something. That would be hard to. That would be really hard. And she also said that Suzanne was a rose among thorns. That's how she fit into the family. Like they were all a bunch of thorns and she was the rose. That's a pretty special thing to say about your sister. It's pretty neat. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Puma Path House. I guess that's what he's talking about. I see he does. I'm looking. So Tony, if you want to send me anything, you can send it to the 321 report at gmail.com. I want to give a shout out to my moderators because I forgot to set the slow chat when this first started, because almost every time that I prepare these, I set that slow chat because it was the one time I forgot. But I forgot this time, and I got a text from one of them asking me to do that. So and I've had, this is amazing to me, guys, because I've never gone more than 200 and something people in here at a time, and it's got up to like almost 700 people in here tonight, which is pretty amazing. So I appreciate y'all being here. I'd like to think that it was because of me, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the news today. So let's see this theory. Glam Dolly 50. Hi, Glam Dolly. I remember you from the Draper Brother days when they would see you. Says, my theory is Barry drove Suzanne to a pre-prepared murder site on some fake pretext, shot her dead, and buried her in a pre-dug grave, hence no cadaver evidence at house or vehicles. I mean, that theory is just as good as any of them, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the heck happened. I've been trying to gather all the little clues that from that press conference, certain things are sticking out in my head when they would ask certain questions and the answers they gave. They didn't want to give some answers. You could tell they're just standing there like, who's going to answer that? And it's pretty crazy. So who's moderate? Wait, that jumped on me. Where'd that go? Oh, it says who's moderating. So my moderators are Strawberry Wine, Maui Girl, and I'm going to find her right here. So let me see. Strawberry Wine, Maui Girl. I saw her earlier, and then Nicole. So they're probably too busy working. They're not. They're not going to comment. If y'all can hear me comment, so I can show people who we are. All right. Thanks, Tony G. He said he sent me an email. So I disagree. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. That's a funny picture. That dog's got glasses like mine. So I did not see this. What are you guys talking about? Cassidy and Donna. Cassidy, I believe, is a big player in this. I want to see what y'all are talking about. I think you're talking about that Donna psychic lady. So that lady, she got pretty big whenever she said that stuff about those kids, where they were in the Daybell case. She got that right about. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna look her up real quick. Bear with me. I started an hour earlier today because I knew this was gonna be a big deal. So, and I wish I would have just taken that hour to prepare, because yeah, it probably would have went a lot smoother. I don't know that lady's. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I don't know her. There she is. I was gonna say I didn't know her YouTube channel. She's actually talking to Cassidy. Out of all the people he could pick to talk to, he talks to her. No offense, Donna, but we've all been trying to get a hold of him. Man, it's like 2 hours long. I'm gonna have to put that on super fast mode to get through that. What the heck? All right. So if any of you can give me the cliff notes of what happened on that, I'd appreciate that. So, because I haven't, her YouTube is Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina, is what it says. Here, I can copy it into the thing if you guys really want it. Here's what it says on her memories and family. I don't know why it says that, but that's what it says. So I would be interested to see what is going on there. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. She kept that quiet. Watch today. I'm not judging. If you're talking about me, I'm not judging nobody. I'm not judging her. I don't care if what I'm saying is, like, Cassidy had many invitations for a long time to talk to people, and he talked to her, and I was just wondering why he picked her to talk to. Maybe he's into that. I don't know. I wasn't judging her, though. Oh, it was back in September. Now I'm getting to the nitty gritty. That's probably why he didn't talk to nobody anymore. Just kidding. I'm not being judgmental. It says Cassidy says Barry has a 3-foot drill and can drill 4 feet down. If he pre-planned her death, that would make a good grave. He told her that? Oh, man. Apparently, Tony's wife is I don't know her name, but apparently she's a real estate agent that helped Barry and Suzanne buy the Puma Path house. So anyway. You guys are funny. I don't know why. This is what I don't understand about people. If you're caught and you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, I guess there hasn't been a trial yet, but why don't you just say where you buried your wife. I mean, just to give at least your daughters a peace of mind. Donna told Cassidy to lay low. Good call, Donna. I ain't no psychic, and I would have told him that. Barry will never tell the truth. Look at this guy. That's not your picture, dude. Maybe it is. I don't know. But you look like a model if that's your picture. Yeah. See, let me tell you, I don't want to bag on nobody like psychics or whatever, because there's some really good people that have gifts, and I get that. But you can't. I've watched many documentaries on this stuff, and many. There was a guy back in the 70s and 80s that would go around disproving stuff. And he was a doctor or scientist or something. I don't know. I have to pull him up and see what he was. I can't remember. But they get the percentage of hits they get, which means the right things that they get, the correct things they predict. The percentage of that is so much lower than the things they get wrong. Even when you have those mediums that would do it on TV, they would only show the ones that they hit on. And it's like they're throwing out this wide net, like, hey, somebody in here relate to bulldog. Anybody got a bulldog that passed away? You know, and then somebody would go, yeah, I had a bulldog pass away. My grandpa's bulldog passed away. And then all of a sudden they're, oh, you got a grandpa. Well, let me talk about this grandpa. You know what I mean? They pick up on little things and they go general stuff. And I'm not saying maybe she has some gifts, but, you know, I don't remember who said it, but it was like even a broke clock is right twice a day. So, I mean, they're going to get stuff right every once in a while. Well, that's cool. If he was trying to help find Suzanne, that's good. But I mean, I think that he might have been able to do a little bit more. You think he might have got scared, which is understandable. So thanks for the question, Shelby. And Shelby's been like a fan for so long. I know a lot of you have, but I always Shelby's here every time, and she always asks really good questions. And this is a good question. And let me tell you something I saw this weekend. So I was driving by Barry's house on Sunday, right before I did that. It was either before or after I did that one video that I showed you where Barry was sunbathing or whatever. And I saw Mallory walking outside, and Barry was walking from his truck into the house. She had just come out of the house, and she was walking to her vehicle. And they didn't say a word to each other. And I was like, that's kind of weird, you know, like if you're going somewhere, you usually tell people bye, you know, your parents or whoever. But it was like they didn't even know each other or something is what I got from that. And I thought that's really strange, you know, like, and maybe I'm thinking too much into it because I saw just a quick glimpse of what was going on. But that's the impression I got when I saw that. All right. Has anyone checked into George Davis's work sites? Think Barry was at one right after Suzanne went missing. I think Barry was at a lot of places when Suzanne went missing. After she did, I mean. Yeah. No kidding, his hair was on point. Is that what the kids say, on point? So who is Cassidy? Let me tell you who Cassidy is. Cassidy Cordova is a young man who worked for Barry. He went to Broomfield that weekend. Actually, I think he might have showed up on Monday early in the morning. I think that's what I saw. To go help on that wall. He had worked for Barry before. From what I gather from looking at his Facebook and stuff, he golfs. He was pretty good at it, like in high school and stuff. He's had issues with the law and with some substance abuse issues, which I'm not judging him because I have too. But I think that he got caught in a situation where he got mixed up in this, and instead of like people would, like Morgan and Jeff and people like that were giving interviews, he didn't want to do that. He was scared, which I understand, and I think that it got to him. And I don't know a whole lot about him, but I do know that I'll tell you one thing that, man, I don't know if I'll say that. I'm going to keep that in my pocket, but there was some stuff that's happened around Cassidy that's pretty shady. Not that he did, but other people did. Oh, I get you. Thanks, Garden Girl. No, I didn't take offense to it anyway. So I know I can get like that sometimes, but I think that I think a lot of people are just trying to figure everything out, So Lisa Hogan. Hello, Lisa. Barry will use Suzanne's location as a bargaining tool to get a lesser sentence. I almost wish that he would. So I don't know. Anyway, just because I would pretty much, I don't think there's going to be an option to have a lesser sentence. I mean, it's first degree murder. I mean, I would hope that he would, some way they could get it and still keep him in jail. I don't know. So this would be fine and dandy, but I don't really even know who Tony is. And it's kind of risky to bring people on when you haven't vetted them or whatever. What? Are you serious? All right, let me tell you about dreams, since we're talking about dreams. I know I've talked about one of my dreams about Suzanne before, but I've also had other dreams about this case, and they're even leaning towards the nightmare part, to be honest with you, because I found myself in a place where all these characters are, Barry and a few other, and I can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like pretty much trapped there, and they're about to find out who I am and what I've said, and I'm getting all scared, and then I wake up. So I would rather have a dream of myself getting hit in the head with a drone than having that dream again. No, who's Abby Davis? What did it say? Let me go back. I hate missing these comments. It's just hard to keep up, especially when there's like over 500 people here. I just still can't believe that. So tell Tony to call you on the live. He wants to chat. I can send him a link. I don't know what he wants to chat about, so I'd have to. You don't want to talk? Do you want to talk or not? Oh, maybe it says Amy, not Abby. See, I'm getting everybody mixed up. Hey, Abby, I saw your comment, Abby, and so let's do this. Let me look at his email real quick, see what he has to say while I'm on the air, and then I can send him a link to join if I think that. I just don't want to. I mean, if I start doing this, it's going to get all weird. I don't see no email. Try it again, Tony. The 321 report at gmail.com. Some people leave out the. So you may have to, that may be what's going on. Just saying. And I just got another video I want to show, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And I'm going to have to mute it because it was one of those ones where if I don't mute it, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, do that, Tony. If you want to talk to me, if you want to come on here, send me an email and tell me what you want to talk about real quick, and then I can, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying, Vern? Remember those commercials? So let me tell you, I'm going to get sidetracked a lot tonight. But you know that guy, that Ernest or whatever? So I went to this, whenever I won this award a while back, it was called the American Advertising Federation Award, and I won it for one of my photos. And when I went to get my award, one of the leaders of the that federation, the American Advertising Federation, wanted me to come shoot the awards the next year. And I ended up doing it like 4 or 5 years in a row. But I just happened to be there the year that they were talking about that Ernest guy. He used to do, his name's Jim Varney. He used to do ads for like a milk company down in Nashville. And they were given a Lifetime Achievement Award, not to him, but to the company. It was really pretty cool. So that's just a little side note. I'm trying to figure out how I get to this. Oh. Now I just need to know how to download it. I might have to share my screen. Okay. That's what I'll do. All right. I figured it out, folks. All right. We were talking about Shoshona earlier, right? And Abby, thank you for that. I don't know if I said that before, but. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. And this is not going to have any video or any audio because the person who recorded it wants to remain anonymous. But what this is them getting footage of. Let me make sure there's no sketchy stuff in here as far as like they showing their faces or anything. All right, we're good. All right. So I'm going to show you this video. What it is this person is driving by Shoshona's house, and look what's going on over there. This was earlier today. Wait a minute. I don't want you to see all these things I got open here. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. Check out what's going on at Shoshona's house. I drove by this house a lot this past week. 1, 2, 3. 3 sheriffs. Oh, back up. I want to show you something. So, not that guy. So, you know how I knew whose house this was? Look, see this huge boulder? There's 2 of them in this yard. Who puts boulders in yards? That's right. Barry. He puts boulders in yards. Crazy. What do you want a big old rock in your front yard for? So they're, I wonder if that's her they're talking to right there. Okay, his truck was parked right in the middle of these 2 on the left. It was parked over there Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday it was back over at his house. This same truck right here. So he's not dead. So he's not dead. We have movement. It's funny. It's this truck with the four-wheeler on it. That's a trailer that he has on it. This front end of this truck right here, I thought was Barry's, but his was in the front. So it wasn't him. We got movement. He's not dead. I was like, I know you guys were worried about him. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That's why I just at least wanted to have a email. What do you guys think about those cops being there? So let me see. Okay. You're going to have to give me a little more information than that, Mr. Tony. It just says I have some info to share. I'm going to write back. What info? I need more info than that, Mr. Tony. Don't have to tell me all the details, what it has to do with. That's all. I'm not going to just, you know what I'm saying, just go on blind faith. I'm not making fun of you, man. I'm jealous. Look at that hair and that chiseled face. I got puffy face and receding hair. See? Now, Gonzo's, I do make fun of Gonzo. Didn't you hear my video? I mean, my phone call, my crank call to him. But it was all in fun. I wasn't really making fun of him. But all I was saying was that wasn't your real picture because nobody looks like that. But obviously they do because there you are. I don't know if that's really you, but. Yup. Good point. See, Silver Bullet, it says, yeah, Barry may have totally convinced the girls that Suzanne left of her own accord. Otherwise, their behavior. See, I talked to some people about this, and I felt the same way. That was one of the theories I had because I was trying to figure out why they would act like that, and that was one of the only things I could come up with. Is that he told her that, or told them that like she was having an affair or something, and she took off. But that doesn't make any sense if you have any common sense, because even if she was leaving their father, she's not going to just abandon them and never say anything. I wouldn't think, not after seeing how tight they were. I know some people have done that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but she doesn't look like the kind of person that would do such a thing in the first place. Yeah, I love her. That's awesome. My brother won a telly for United Way. That's awesome. Okay, first of all, I don't even know who Carol is. Is that Carol Gaines or whatever her name is? Is that who you guys are talking about? Ew, disgusting for the eyes to see BM sunbathing like an aged and old sea. It's funny. Yeah, it was pretty weird to see that, to be honest with you. And I had heard he had gone to tanning beds and that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just thought that was weird that guys would go to tanning beds. I don't know. Unless you got a job. Like Tony was on Mommy Rambling's channel tonight. He is the husband of the real estate agent for BM Suzanne. She was also friends with Suzanne. Okay. I think it is very odd that Barry's physique has changed and his face is now unrecognizable to the Delphi murder property from New Zealand. Okay. Let me talk about first. Let me talk about the physique part of that, and his face being on. When you lose a bunch of weight, like your face changes. You know, like that's I've had that experience before. I got pretty skinny. I tried to put on my wedding ring that I got whenever I was skinny just today, and it wouldn't even fit on my pinky. And I look at pictures that are in our house of me when I was skinnier, and I do look like a different person. So I get that part of it. I'm not really sure what you're saying about the Delphi murderer here. Like maybe he used to look like that guy and now he doesn't. Maybe that's what you're saying. So yep. I would bet, I mean, his truck was at her house. I mean, for 2 days. Everything I'm hearing, like she's in the picture or was until today, I guess. I don't know. Let me just say I don't know like what she sees in this guy, to be honest with you. Yeah. I really don't. Oh, dude. I've been right. Just reminded me of something. Thanks. This is my mom. Hi. Thank you. Love you too. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to Shelby real quick. So she reminded me of something. Wonder what show thinks now. So I've been trying to write to her, like I've been texting her, and she would tell the person that I was speaking to, she would say, "Oh, well, tell him I'm not ready to talk, but this and that." Well, anyway, so I've been trying to text message her, and I wrote this big long one last week, and I was giving her an opportunity. I said, "I'm going to give you an opportunity. You could come on my show. You could talk about this if you want to squash anything or whatever." I never heard nothing. So what did I write to her today? I'll tell you. I'm going to look it up right now. I want to get it right. Because what Shelby wrote reminded me of it. So the first thing I wrote was, I took a picture of her house with Barry's truck in the driveway, and I sent it to her, and I said, "Now what?" Because she was denying it, like I'm not stupid. Like you don't just park there. And then I put, "You should have responded earlier, because now I'm gonna have to talk about this stuff online." So I mean, I wrote a big old long thing the other day. So no mo for show. That's funny. Tony's channel hopping, trying to get his 15 minutes. Well, it ain't all it's cracked up to be, Mr. Tony. So maybe this was what's going on with the numbers here. It says 5:11 right now. Maybe it's because I started an hour earlier and people weren't in bed yet. I don't know. It can't be anything else. I don't know what else would have happened today to make everybody come over here. So I want to thank Carla. She offered to take me to her son's restaurant when I was in Colorado, but I had plans to do it, and then I was trying to get a sooner flight home because it was storming and I couldn't even do nothing anymore. So I was at the airport early trying to do that. And once you get in there, it's a hassle. You don't want to get out, even though I couldn't get a earlier flight. I just stayed there. So anyway, I appreciate the offer though, Carla. Thank you. What? Yeah, where is Tony? And of course, the infamous not masked therapist. Oh, Troy. I thought you were talking about this Tony guy. Yeah, where is that guy? Hey, I can tell you where the mass therapist is. Somebody snitched her off to me not too long ago. Well, it was a long time ago because it was back when Tyson and I were working together. Somebody sent me her info and said, call one of these numbers and you'll know as soon as you hear her voice that it's her. So I did. And it was. And she never answered, but you could tell by her voice who it was. And she is an actual therapist, or she was when I called. And you know what's funny about that? As soon as I called, this is not one of those things. As soon as I called her, her show, like all her stuff disappeared. She was gone. And I think she was like, uh-oh, he's got my number. I just called her from my regular number. I didn't care. All right. Why doesn't he go start his own channel? That's funny. I don't really want to talk to somebody who's been jumping all over the place to different channels, you know, like not my thing. Yeah, I do. I agree. I'm glad Tyson got that video. And I'm going to tell you a story about that. And, you know, I don't think he would care. I think we might have already said something about it before, but even if not, I mean, it's a cool story and I don't think he would care if I shared it. But so he told me that when this happened, when he ran into Barry, he was on his way back to Arizona. He was up in Colorado visiting some friends. He was on his way back. And he had heard about the Suzanne Morphew thing a few days before that or whatever, a couple weeks before that. I don't remember exactly, but he said, so he was heading home and he got this really strong feeling that he should go to Salida and poke around in this case. And he wasn't really doing a whole lot of true crime stuff at that moment. He was doing more, he was traveling around and he would go to different sites that things happened. And he was also into seeing movie locations and stuff like that, you know, just casual stuff. So he got that strong feeling that he should go up there. And then when the first day he was up there, he saw Barry drive by. It was that video where he saw him drive by and he was wet and looked frantic, he said. But then the next day he ended up meeting him and he felt like, from what he told me, he felt like Suzanne was leading him there, which I totally can buy that. You know, I think that there's people this is how I believe people, when they pass away, they're all around us. I think the spirit world, or what a lot of people call heaven, is all around us. And I think that I've read books where people have died on the operating table and stuff like that, and they come back and talk about their experiences. And a lot of them say that one of the books I read said there was a guy, he could see his dad, and his dad was getting ready. He was going to go on a trip. And then he saw his grandfather, who had already passed away, whisper to his dad, who is still alive, hey, you're going to be late for your plane. You got to leave. And then all of a sudden this guy would be like, hey, oh yeah, I got to go. It's like he whispered a thought into the guy's head that he was going to be late. So I think that I believe that, because the way I felt when I read that, I believe it's true. And I think that that can happen. You know, I think that certain things can happen to where people can communicate from the other side of, you know, in the Chad Daybell case, he called it a veil. And there was a reason he called it that, because in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's like a veil in the temple and stuff. And plus they talk about a veil that separates this world from the spirit world. So I know they had a lot of crazy ideas and all that, but they were just twisting up stuff that was, I believe, is true. So anyway, I do believe that people can get help that way. So, yeah. I didn't know that. Oh, not that one. That's cool. Yeah. That's one of the books that there was the one that I read. I can't remember the name of it. It was really cool. Harley, the daughter of Letitia, is on the prosecution witness list. I didn't know that. And now I know that ain't you, because that's a famous dude, and I know he ain't on my channel. That's that guy from what was that Prison Break show? Prison Break. Yeah. So yeah, she actually had some really good writings. So yeah. Amen. So yeah, that's looking like further and further from being a reality, isn't it, Geraldine? Help my brother get out. That's really funny, dude. Some of these I'm not gonna post. You guys are crazy. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, Brenda. It's nice to say. I never was the little brother until like we had stepbrothers and sisters. Then I was, but I was already grown. So, all right. I've been avoiding this part of the show, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So I might have to write. When I get nervous, I scribble and doodle. So that's why I'm getting my stuff ready. So this weekend was really emotional for me. I had a rough time this weekend, and I got to talking to Tiffany, and I talked to one of my bosses last week about a few things, and I've been stressing out, and in large part due to this case, and large part due to what I have to do to provide this content. So I know this is probably the worst time in the world that to do this, but because of what happened today, but I've already made a decision. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from YouTube for my own sanity, and to I have a family, I have a job, and I have certain things I need to take care of, and I want to be there for those things, and I want to be able to be the husband I need to be the employee I need to be the father I need to be. And I can't really do that right now with all that's going on, putting everything I got into these shows and stuff right now. But yeah, so I'm going to take a break. I talked to my mom and dad about this, actually, or my mom and my stepmom and my dad about this, and last week when I was in Colorado, and I told them how I was feeling. And today my stepmom wrote to me and said, you're riding off into the sunset with Barry in jail. And I didn't think about it like that, but yeah. I got a list of priorities, and this is way low on them, and not to discount anything I've done or anything that you got, but there's a lot of things ahead of this. Let's just say that. And I need to take care of those things, because I can't be the best I can be right now. When I got, it's almost like an obsession and an addiction. Let's put it that way. And I've had addiction problems in my life, and I can sense when something's getting to be too much. And I think this is a good time, because I said maybe this is the worst time, but I think this is the best time, because we've worked, me and you guys have worked really hard to get to this point to where Barry's being held accountable. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. And I really feel like this would be a good time for me to get some priorities back in order. And one thing I hate is it happened a couple of times a day when my son comes to me and he says, Dad, come out and play with me outside. And I have to say, well, I got a show tonight and I'm getting ready for it. And he's going to be, I mean, I have 2 kids that are older and it seems like it went by so super fast. And I don't want to look back and regret not having those times with them and not playing with them and doing those things. Life's short. And we all know that because of this kind of stuff. I mean, anything can happen. But I'm not going to delete my channel, anything like that. I'm just taking a break. If I decide to come back, and I'm not going to shut the door or anything, but I'm just saying I'm taking a break. But if I did come back, I'm going to make some changes. And it started off I had this when Tyson and I went our separate ways and I started my own channel. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I've kind of got off track with that as far as like I wanted to be more positive and I wanted to do that kind of thing. But, that just happens. It's the nature of the beast. So I do appreciate y'all. You guys are amazing. You've really been there for me, helped me. There's some other things I want to do in regards to this case, in regards to my life. Writing about this is one of the things I would like to do. And it's so easy to write a book now as far as what I've been told. You can just talk into something and it'll transcribe it for you, and there you go. So I might do something like that in the future. That's not going to happen anytime soon because I'm not taking a break to go start a bunch of other stuff. I'm taking a break to spend with my family and to concentrate on my job, stuff like that. I have to support my family. And so anyway, I'm going to go right now and I'm going to go hang out with them. So I appreciate you all. So yeah, I'm going to go see what I can do to right the ship. You guys can still, reach out, say hi if you want to, but if you don't get a message back, it's because I'm on a break. So, y'all have been really good to me though. And I really do appreciate you. And it's been a really super emotional year. And for a lot of us, for all of us probably, but I just hope Suzanne can rest in peace and I hope justice comes. I know this is the beginning of that. Thanks for supporting me. It was amazing that there was that many people in here today. And I didn't even tell anybody that was like going to be, except for my family, that it was going to be my last show for a while. And anyway, we'll see how long it takes. I'm not going to rush back if I do come back, but I'm going to enjoy my life and my family. And wherever life leads me, that's where I'm going to go. But right now, my heart's telling me this is what I need to do. So it's weird that I decided this a few days ago when Barry gets arrested today. It's so weird. And then you try to tell me that angels don't exist. I don't believe you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. And I'll keep tabs on what's going on with Barry and the trial and all that stuff. But all right. I don't think I've ever said this before, but I love you guys and I appreciate you. And thanks for my mods and everybody else, all my friends I've made throughout this, and all you guys. I appreciate you. And adios.